Hello viewers, I hope you all are happy, healthy and safe. So now today we'll be covering the topic of research design. Just recollect in your mind the research process and the steps of research process which I have covered in my earlier videos. And I told you that once we will start up with the research process, we'll be coming and we'll be covering the one by one topic of that research process. Just have a quick recall of research process once again to maintain the connectivity and to make you understand that the topic which we'll be covering today is how it is related to the entire research process. Every time the research process begins with identification of research problem, as we all know. And once the problem is clear in our mind, then we go for the subsequent collection of literature review, or we always say that gathering of reviews, literatures related to that topic or that problem statement which we want to explore or which we want to cover in our research journey. However, the research process the review is always there till the end, but this is the point that way we gather the research gaps, we understand the variables and the parameters covered related to our study, and then we move subsequently. Once we gather the literature review, then accordingly we frame the research questions, objectives, and we formulate the hypothesis. So these are the basic steps of research process, which anyway in anywhere you are covering the research things, you start with this the same process. Once you frame the hypothesis, the most important and the integral step of research process is the research design, which we abbreviate as RD. Yes, research design. We always call it as the skeleton of your research work. How you will carry now your research, how you will frame your research plan, what all things you will be covering in your research topic. That is the part of the research design. So this video specifically talks about mainly what is exactly the research design, what the research design covers, and what are the features of good research design. And then in my subsequent videos, I'll be explaining you the types of research design, because it is again a little bit technical part to cover with. And if your research design is clear and specific, believe me, you will be facing no problem carrying your research work, and your research journey will gonna to be smooth. So let's move on to the board and understand the RD and the features of good RD. Apart from that, what all RD covers, what are the various frames of RD, that all will be covered in this video. So here we start with research design. The research design. First of all, we'll understand the meaning of research design. Research design refers to the plan, structure, and strategy of research. As I said in the beginning of the video, that it is giving you in this you are covering the entire plan, entire structure, entire skeleton of how you will carry your research. It is the blueprint that will guide the research process. Now, what all things includes in this? It includes design decisions like what is the study about, like what you are studying in your research, why is the study, the justification also you are covering in research design, where will the study be carried out, that you have to explain the area or the sample you are covering. For that, what type of data is required, where can the required data be found, that all these sites, or you can say if you are covering the data, primary data, or if you are taking the secondary data, so from where you are gathering the data, that is also to be mentioned in the research design. Then the time frame, as I always emphasize this, the time frame should also be included in research design. And what will be the sample design? Your sampling procedure also comes under research design. What techniques of data collection will be used? That also you have to mention. What type of data is required is a different thing. Like here we say the primary data or secondary data. Then with what source? That means the tools and the techniques you will develop for the data collection, that also to be highlighted in research design. And next, the methodology with which you will be analyzing your data. So these are the key things to be covered in your research design,
Whenever you are making this synopsis proposal for the doctoral program, or you are making a research proposal, or you are giving submitting a project proposal, wherever you are doing it, this research design is playing an integral role, because this will give an idea that how you will be carrying your research in subsequent steps. A simple definition will make you clear understand a little bit clear about the research design. According to Karlinger in 1995, research design is a plan, structure, and strategy of investigation, so conceived as to obtain answer to research questions or problems. And the plan is a complete scheme of the research. Now please understand this, again and again I am explaining that when you go for the research design, this is an integral part. As you can see, it is giving you the complete scheme of your research, entire research work, and it is a framework that has been created to answer the research question. And already I have explained you earlier in my research videos, that is about the research question and about the research objective and about the research hypothesis. If you have not seen so far, kindly I request you to go and watch this video as well, because you have to understand all these terms very clearly so as to go through your research design. Now, there are some parts of research design. I'm taking up the majorly four parts of research design, as you can see in this diagram. The first one is the observational design, that is the conditions under which observations to be made. Whenever we go for the research design, we have to cover these four parts, and broadly they are classified as observational design, sampling design, operational design, and statistical design. So when you are framing your research design, you have to take consideration of these four things. The observational design, that means under which you will be covering your observations or you will be taking your readings related to your research work. Sampling design deals with the method of selecting items to be observed, because sampling is again a very integral process. Irrespective of what kind of data you are collecting, primary data or secondary data, the sample on which you are working, that is very important, and identifying that sample is little bit more important. So you have to understand that sampling design, which basically talks about that what all the methods of selecting you will be observing to select the items. Then statistical design, how many items are to be observed and how the gathered information to be analyzed. Now it is something related to the hypothesis testing also, which we will be taking care in subsequent videos. Earlier also I explained you about the research hypothesis. So statistical design covers what? It covers that how many items are to be observed, how many items you will be taking, the number, and then you will be analyzing, how you will be analyzing, what all methodology you will be using to analyze the data collected. Operational designs, techniques by which the procedure specified in other three parts can be carried out. That is how you are going to make your design operational. So these are all the parts of research design. Whenever you construct a research design, you have to cover these major four parts in your research design. Now, when you construct your research design and when you frame a research design, what all things you have to be clear with is that first of all, it should depict a clear statement of the research problem. See, the research problem should be very clear. Your problem statement should be very clear, and it should reflect the objective you are attending to. It should not be ambiguous in nature or a little bit confused in nature. So, your research design should have the clear statement. Procedures and techniques, whatever procedures you are using, whatever techniques you are using, it should be clear. And what all things will be covered in that is, first of all, what population you are covering. Now here population is not related to one specific stream per se. It is all depend on, like, if we are doing research even in the engineering stream or in science stream or in any other stream, yes, some population we are covering for the study. So that is the meaning of population here. So you have to first of all clear what population you are targeting. Then what are the methods you are using in processing and analyzing the data, and these methods vary from the different research streams. So whatever the researcher is using, that should be mentioned under the RD. Even when we are writing our research paper, which will be my next topic also, how to write the scientific research paper or how to write an effective research paper, in that also that RD plays a very leading role, that you have to clearly mention your research methodology. Under research methodology, you have to mention your research design. So these are the basic points which are being covered in today's video, wherein I have explained you what are the all basic meaning of research design, what all parts to be covered in research design, what are the majorly four parts of a research design, that is observational I explained, and then sampling I have explained, statistical design I have explained, operational design I have explained, and then the what are the major features of a good research design. My next video will be on the major types of research design used in research process. Thank you.